So now I'm gonna explain what people basically like. They have whole groups of adults that sit around acting like experts, and then they claim that somebody has a creepy bag. Let me tell you what their indicator of that type of idea is. Here is a picture of a face that they use as their reason or something for hacking my computers and shit. And then overheard they're like they they state that somebody's got a Chinese hacker in their brain or something. Okay, all right. So that's an example of the dumbest, most stupidest fucking answers that could ever come from anybody's fucking mouth. See, when they go around acting like I'm gonna redo, this is like where I know what they do, okay? I research the fuck out of all of them. They're all sitting behind the dark web here trying to say, acting like I already know what they're doing after basically like breaking down all of their stuff, okay? I know what they do. So they basically have like whole groups of people who thought that everybody would believe all of their like stupid little creepy bag fucking dumb fucking retarded shit. And then essentially, a lot of those people did a horrible blackmail right in front of my fucking eyes. And that's basically their real reason on hacking my stuff is that, yeah, I know that they went and gathered up a contract that they're doing, okay? And I know that it involves child brothels and fucking. And that essentially they're just too fucking stupid to even have anything that would ever explain away what they're doing, okay? The Chinese hacker brains. And so that's where people that sit around acting like fucking experts that have stupid fucking ideas and explanations like that are basically people that have now basically a boilerplate response system that includes that type of retarded shit. And that when they sit around trying to act like they like are helping a person with their Chinese creepy back brain or something, those are severed lumens. All right. So one of the things about doing VRI and speaker exploitation groups is that they end up pissing off a bunch of people and then they become severed lumens. See, their hacker contract is literally like what houses all the evidence. And see, that is what the government is trying to. That's what they're trying to bust through. That's what these gray out profiles really are. They're really just major high level hacking contracts and clandestine agency contracts for enemy agencies. That's what those gray outs actually are. They get packaged in different ways. It's essentially meant for people to be too stupid and to upload their blackmail, and then they get forced into the hacker contracts. Or if they're like skilled in a different way, then there's other aspects to those contracts that they get put into, and that like if they're not tech savvy or hacker savvy or something, then they'll essentially be part of like blackmail targeting teams, VR exploitation, sound training, sound torture, silencing, all that type of stuff. Is essentially what they do in those hacker contracts, because the clandestine contract that they're basically doing is so highly illegal that they essentially have groups that are meant to be silencing people when they get stumbled upon and shit. And that is where those groups essentially are sitting around like not realizing that just because they were like convincing uneducated people, there's educated people that they weren't telling. right? And so they're going to have a real hard time trying to justify their CIA credentials doing contract profile coins or contract, mercenary contracts. See, if they were really in the CIA, then if they were doing like a Blackwater contract, basically, the government would be able to access that stuff. And so it's very easy for the government to see all of your guys' faces or something, or your guys' claims on doing some knock contract or something. And that if you guys were really doing one for the American government or for the West, they would be able to actually access your whole fucking system. Because if it came from them, they would have created it. In that sense, it didn't come from them. And that's why you guys, literally, you people, when you guys claim to be doing CIA contracts and dark web, people noticed that. And then people went and had that piece of information verified. And you know what they found? Is that you all weren't actually doing a black op, like dark web mission mercenary contract. You people are doing one for some enemy entity, okay? And since your guys' whole method is based around like psychotically torturing people into silence that have nothing to do with what our black op teams would ever be doing. See, the American government doesn't need to VR, VIP, sloth, they don't need to do that stuff to get money. They could just put money. And see, if you guys were really using their theoretical version of that idea, then they would just be able to put money and that it wouldn't have people tortured. Nobody would be allowed to be accessing speakers and being using the Nazi sick fuck mouth fucking psychop silencing methods in it. They wouldn't, those people that you guys do that at, they wouldn't even be included in a black op contract from our government. They're entertainment stars and shit. And so that's what I know about all of you. Is that all of you have sat around convincing people of this weird idea. And that's why I researched all of you. You guys, I knew that you people weren't in any fucking approved agencies. And that all of you are basically not comprehending, huh? That if you guys are going to operate within the United States borders, a mercenary contract for an outside enemy entity, that's not going to bode well for any of you.